Hi, my name's Vicki,
Hi, I'm Donna.
and it's your time.
It is. It's your time to show your own magic.
It's your time to shine.
And as Gail put it, spread the awakened life. We are here to do that for you. That is so cool. And hi, Gail. Say hi to everybody.
Hi, Donna. Hi, Vicki. Nice to see you both.
And
And we did want to put in the reason behind It's Your Time podcast is we met each other, we clicked. We did not have anyone to really share our awakening journey with, and meeting each other just kind of brought it out of us. And we know that there are so many people right now on the same path that don't have friends to share this with, that don't understand that they have a mission in life, that, you're just going around in your everyday life going, there's got to be something more. There's got to be
that's
something more.
right.
What am I here for?
That's right. And a lot of it's happening to a lot of women. It's happening to men too, which is great.
Mhm.
But it is happening to a lot of women. And so all of us are, we found each other. And I guess that would lead us to our first question of for Gail, how did you discover Ann Tucker? Because that's how we all met.
So, well, as many of us are on some kind of a spiritual awakening, I was in search of all sorts of books and podcasts and things like that. And I actually discovered Pam Gregory, the astrologer, 11 years ago. I found her podcast, which was the beginning of her book. You don't believe in astrology, do you? And it was wonderful. And she had me, oh my gosh, she just had me right away. So, and it was Pamela Gregory that ended up interviewing Ann Tucker in one of her YouTube videos. And I thought, wow, I really like this Ann Tucker lady. And that was probably about a year ago or so, maybe July 2024. And I, at the bottom of the YouTube video, you have all the links for going and finding where that person is. And so I followed the link for Ann Tucker, and she had her Spirit Means Business or Friday Lives. And they were beautiful. And they were so fascinating about the earth changes. And I thought, whoa, that is so cool that Ann Tucker is saying the same thing that an astrologer is saying. There were so many synchronicities. And so I jumped into Ann Tucker's world, and she was promoting a class called Soul Convergence. And so I jumped into Soul Convergence. I was like the second class in Soul Convergence, which meant doing it by myself online. But it was for us to be finished at a certain time to move through these other processes. Anyway, it was in Soul Convergence and in Spirit Means Business, they were two Facebook groups that we were texting each other. Anyone live in Arizona? And this one woman, Catherine, texted back and said, I do. I'm down in the Tucson area. And I said, well, I'm in North Scottsdale. We were like, let's get together. So two of us got together for coffee. She came up from Tucson. I came down and we met in a kind of a central location. And then we did that again with another member of these groups. And then so two went to three went to nine went to 12 to 14. And it was all through Ann, really. And the fun thing about it was that Ann Tucker, because we all Arizona group came together, it caused Ann Tucker to want to come and take her show on the road, if you will. And so Arizona was her first place she came to Carefree. And she was throwing these tickets out, and we got email about it. And so I bought a ticket. I found out I had a BOGO. I had a buy one, get one. And I was like, I sent on our thread, hey, does anyone want an extra ticket? And I remember Donna said, I do, but I can't go.
I do, but I
And then I
can't.
was like,
Yeah.
oh. And And then
Yeah.
all of a sudden Donna was like, oh, I can go. And so we put you with Catherine to drive up. And I met Vicki through all the lunches that we had when the groups of us would get together with our 10 and our 12. And we've grown
Mhm.
quite large now. But that's how I met Donna. She was my BOGO date.
That's right. And
Yeah.
actually, Catherine said, she told me that she saw that you said that, and she knew I was in Tucson because we hadn't met in Tucson, just three of us in Tucson. And she said, "Do you need a ride?" And I said, "Yes, let me see if I can get the day off." And yes, it worked. Yay. It was one of those synchronicity.
Oh, it was
Definitely
awesome.
was synchronous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was meant to
awesome.
be.
It was. It was. And that's how I met you, and that's how I met you. And I think
Up and Carefree.
Catherine is the only one I knew. And then I met everybody at lunch that day. And then I went to another lunch with you guys. So, and Vicki,
Yes.
you've been going to the lunches for how many lunches? I don't know.
Well, and we've splintered off. I mean, we've got such a big group now that we kind of geographically kind of do some splintering off and do lunches. And
Yeah.
like Vicki and myself and another friend of ours from the group went up to Sedona yesterday and got to listen to Veda Austin speak. And wow.
Very cool.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Mhm.
Yeah. So you've I think this is like our second take. We always do this, don't we, Vicki? And it's always my fault.
It's meant to
You're
be,
the
Donna.
techie.
You all are meant to practice. That's
That's
all.
right. That's right. So I guess we've heard this story before, and it's so beautiful. Gail, I hope you can say it just as beautifully as you did before for you to describe your
So
spiritual.
who are you and what do you do?
Oh yeah.
Well,
Okay.
I have a story probably a lot like other people where you knew at a very, very young age that you were different and you could hear things and see things. And my superpower were animals and earth, like the trees and the plants and fairies and, those kind of things. And so I would chat with them. And I was a kid that moved around a lot because of a military family. So nature and my pets were always a consistent thing in my life. And so I developed quite a telepathic communication with them. Although at that age, I didn't know that's what it was called. I just assumed everyone could do that until my fifth grade or my kindergarten teacher, when I was 5, said, you are frightening your friends. Stop telling them stories. And she said, you have a very rich imagination. Just put it away. So I did. I put my imagination away, not knowing that that was a gift that we all have from source. And because we're all able to be telepathic, we just are told that's not true. Or, it frightens people, I think. Anyway, it was when I did all the Ann Tucker things, we went into after soul convergence, we did something called gift activation to find out like what your gifts were. And I knew I could channel. I knew I just knew certain things about me, but I picked the spiritual leadership. I don't know why. That's where I ended up. But in doing all of that, somehow I found Nancy Windhart, not through Ann Tucker's thing, but in searching like what is my spiritual gift? And because we all have them, we have to fine tune what that is. And I found this person on a podcast, Nancy Windhart, who is an animal communicator, and all sentient beings, animals and all sentient beings, which means all the trees and the plants and earth, rocks, minerals, fairies, all of that. And I thought, oh my gosh, someone actually does that. And she had a weekend event in Flagstaff that I thought, okay, I'm going to go to it. And I did. And it was amazing that I assumed I'd see everybody that looked like me. And it wasn't like that at all. It was people from all over the world. And I was the only Arizona person. And they were all ages. It was fascinating. And I've just kept with it. So the animal communication is something I've just kept with. And I'm not certified yet. I work with friends and family on their pets, and people that I meet through the class. We trade our animals. We do pictures back and forth, and we'll do communication that way. So it's been a lot of fun, and then I'm learning Reiki. I'm a level 2 Reiki practitioner right now, which has been fun. So I'm hoping to use the Reiki with the animal communication in shelters. And also, I know that I don't know if you all have listened to Kelly Kolodny with Angel Raphael. She just did a recent podcast, and before the end of the podcast, she said that the animals that are on farms, but the animals that are caged and that we eat, are crying out for support, to be sent love, being energy. And because they're also, their consciousness is raising also. I mean, everybody's, all the beings on the planet and the planet herself, the consciousness is raising. So I might use that animal communication. Well, I think I will use that animal for communication to support those animals as well.
That's fantastic. I love that. That is so great. Did you have anything to add to that, Vicki, or anything you wanted to?
No, I think we just had a freeze, so I'm not sure if it was me or if it was you guys, but
No, everything looks good. It's still recording. We're all
oh,
good.
good.
Uh-oh. I had the same thing happen as a child, where I was talking to the trees and was told that, that's crazy and that sort of thing. And many instances like that, but it wasn't just recently someone said they used to hear their name called and there was nobody there. And that's what I heard. And when I told my parents that upset my mom. So I held it all back and just kept it inside. So, so I think that happens to a lot of us, that you start out as a child with these. I can't wait to see what people that have kids nowadays that are awakened, what they're going to do with their kids. I mean, you see a lot of it online already. You see people posting kids remembering their past lives and things like that, and they're encouraged to remember. So that is so cool.
When we went to, just to bring this up, I'm sure she probably won't mind, but on our trip to Sedona yesterday, the lady that we went with, she is a mother and she is also a teacher, and she is bringing more of the, I'm going to call it the spiritual aspect, but into her teaching and into her children, so that they are growing up with the realization, that we are more. And it was very exciting just to hear what, how she teaches and, what she is promoting with her being, just to be around these kids.
Well, I had a friend who asked me to help their children, and because I've been in daycare and, whatever, my whole life. I've always been around kids and teach them everything that, but not a teacher. But being a shaman, they're thinking maybe there's something that I could help them teach. And I don't, I'm wondering if there are classes that somebody, like, maybe that she's going to be setting up classes or something for parents. That's like a hole that needs to be filled. Whoever is out there who who has ideas on how to help children do this. The only child I've ever helped was one who had, and I guess you'd say, a ghost in the house. That's how people look at it nowadays. So yeah, so that is.
I was an educator for 30 years, and in the classroom for a good portion of that time, and then taught teachers for a long time. And our education system definitely needs to be revamped. And like micro schools, that's something that we all talked about in the car when we were driving to Sedona yesterday, these smaller micro schools, because I had classes of 35 and 40. And it's not that you have to teach very regimented when you have a class that size. And it would be nice just to take kids on actual field trips. Let's go to the observatory, let's go dig for rocks. Let's go look at birds for the day, things like that to really make life real for them because they're expecting that now. They're not going to sit in desks quietly and teachers cannot any longer be a sage on the stage. They have to be a guide on the side. Not mine. Those aren't my words. I stole those.
Those are lovely words.
They
Yeah, they're
are.
great. But boy, we have to think differently about how we're educating the young ones because the young ones are coming with their telepathic gifts and their understanding that they do have, so much more to life. Life is so much bigger than what we as older people thought it was when we were their age. So that's exciting.
I was wondering if you had seen a change in like the population of children as you were going through your teaching career.
Yeah, a lot more trauma. The
Oh,
trauma
wow.
is just is huge. And we need to teach our kids how to regulate their nervous systems and how to meditate. And those were things I was also doing, teaching the teachers that I was working with, how to do. But that type of education is frightening for a lot of parents that are more, that's not the way I learned. You know what I mean? That have that mindset.
Mhm.
And so until that changes, and that's why a lot of parents are pulling their kids out of school also to do it on their own.
I know with COVID, it just upended the whole system.
It did.
And it did actually help, one of the upsides is it did help focus on the individual child and how they best learn. Because some people, thrive in a classroom setting. Some people thrive by themselves. Some people thrive in small groups. It's not one size fits all anymore.
Yeah.
Well, it never was really.
Right.
I grew up with ADHD in the 60s and 70s. I was in school and it was a totally different way of looking at everything. They tried to fit me in a mold and I didn't fit, so.
I was with you, Donna. I was one of those neurodivergent kids.
Yeah.
That math never made sense to me. Sitting still never made sense to me.
No, it still doesn't. It still doesn't. I had, people are like, why don't you ever sit down? I did sit down for 5 minutes. Now it's time to go do something.
I've learned for meditating because of ADHD, also rocking chairs.
Oh yeah. Well, I've always liked them. So yeah, that's good. That's a very good. My son used to have my son do that too. That's so cool. So this has been so much fun. I'm learning so much more about you that I didn't know. That's so wonderful. And you said you don't. Sorry, my light just fell down. I guess I wasn't supposed to ask this question. I don't know.
We'll find out.
That's my grandpa is always on that side. Now I forget what it was.
Can you hear all my clocks? Sorry. It's 1:15, and so the clocks start going.
Oh, cool. No, I can't hear that.
Oh, good. Okay.
You said that you aren't certified yet, but
No.
you are working, if someone
Towards
came
it.
to you and said that they wanted to.
For my course, there's 7 levels. I'm on level 4.
Okay. But
For
if
the type of coursework I'm doing with Nancy Windhart.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like if I had a picture of a dog, let's say, and I just wanted to get your opinion on, does she need anything from me that I'm not getting? Could you kind of help me with that?
Ethically, if you and your dog gave me permission, yes, I
Well,
could.
how do I know if my dog gives you permission?
Well, you would ask your dog, is it okay if my friend Gail, who is working to be an animal communicator, can speak with you, and you would know. And then I would know if the dog doesn't want to talk to me, I would know.
You'll just say no.
Well, and I've had dogs that haven't wanted to talk because they're busy. They're out running, they're busy.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, they came here to have fun and to sleep and eat and love. So.
Well, and we have soul contracts with our animals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. Oh, I definitely know that. My last dog was was here to help me through something really big. So, excuse me.
Yeah, they're
I
pretty
totally hear that.
remarkable what they do for us.
There are angels. They are.
Yeah.
Yeah. And cats too, all
Mhm. Oh, yeah, all of them.
hamsters, whatever animal
Yep,
you have.
whatever your animal is. I've got tortoises, so they're also
Oh,
part of
how
my
sweet.
my world.
Oh, how sweet. My neighbor has one. He just came out of his den yesterday. He's been there
Oh,
since October.
And when you say den, like den outside or den in the house?
He built a cave for the
Okay.
tortoise.
yeah, we've got 3, 4 outside.
Oh, how nice. Oh, wow.
Mhm.
That is so nice. That's so lovely. This is great. So, but if anybody did want to connect with you, I mean, did you want to give your
Sure,
email or?
yeah, I can put my email, I can give you my email address and you can, do you
I
want me
can
to
put it in the
in?
notes? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. But if not, then at least people can learn that there are people out there that are learning how to, finding their path and taking it and going.
And if anybody feels called to
Yeah.
try and become an animal intuitive or a all
Mhm.
sentient being
Mhm.
intuitive, there are classes out there.
Oh, there's
Just know
there's
that.
lots of people out there doing it, and it's wonderful. The thing that we're learning is to be still, get down in our heart, and to just open to the communication, because it's easy to think that you're faking it. You know what I mean? It's easy
Yeah.
to
Oh,
think,
yeah.
oh, this isn't me. But you do evidentiary kind of questions, and then you find out, and then when you talk to the human companion, they can say, yeah, you're right on track with that, or no. Same with channeling. I mean, sometimes we channel and we think we're doing one thing and we're getting somebody else.
Yeah, yeah. So do you channel animals or?
I've channeled my own dogs, my own pets, my own past animals.
Oh, I'll have
I now I
on
I
that.
have conversations with my dogs and I answer for them. What percentage could that be that I'm actually picking up what they're thinking?
Probably 100%, Vicki.
Wow.
We're told so often that no, it's your imagination, but it's not. I mean, it's source. You're tapping into something. Now, telepathy is an actual conversation. It's different than channeling. So telepathy is an actual conversation you're having with that sentient being.
They're usually kind of I was gonna say I have my sense of humor is a little smart assy. And they're a little smart assy back.
Oh yeah. Well, that's like our angels. I'm sure your angels are sometimes
Oh my
like,
gosh.
Oh, yes, definitely.
like hiding things from you and
Yeah, like you said you didn't
making the
want to
light
do.
go off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. Or
Forgetting to
so many.
record.
Yeah, right. Hit record. Yeah, at least we got to practice. At least we got to
Yes.
dry run. That was great. But this turned out really well. I'm so excited. And I'm excited for all of us that we're all, the whole Arizona group is, and the fact that Anne wanted to, I mean, I wasn't sure if that was why she did, but when you said it, I was like,
Oh
yeah.
yeah. It was
Yeah.
because she knew there was a group there. Wendy
Yeah.
sent the email out to all of us and
Right.
and then we were, I mean, I think she filled up pretty fast.
She did, and I was going to go to the one in New York because I used to live there. I was going to go see
Oh,
my friends and all that, but it didn't work out. But that's okay. But apparently she channeled more than than what she. I mean, each one's going to be different, I guess. So
mhm,
Yeah.
yeah. So
mhm.
this is so cool. Thank you, Gail, so much for
You're
doing this.
welcome.
Thank
Thank
you.
you
It
both.
was
Yeah.
fun. It was fun to get
Yes.
to know you a little bit more.
Yay.
And maybe we'll bring you back another time if we.
Ooh.
Oh, would you want to do that? Oh
Oh,
yeah.
anything for you two. You know that.
Ah, you're so sweet. You
Yeah.
are the best. You're more than just a BOGO date.
Ooh,
All right.
A BOGO date from heaven.
a BOGO date.
Yes.
Well, I will leave you two so you can finish up and end your show.
Oh, well,
Well,
no
thank
problem.
you.
Yeah, we were on our way to do that. So, um,
Love you both.
love you
Love
too,
you.
Gail.
Bye.
Bye. Oh, that was so cool.
I
I didn't
know.
know she was going to drop off. That's cool. Just in the right time. She is so sweet.
Yes, she
You
is.
did good. Yay, we did it again. I'm
Yay.
always so
What,
surprised when it works.
and my dog is happy too.
Oh, good. Oh, good. How cool is that? Well, and I might try and channel my dogs who have passed. I mean, I channel everything else. Why not? I hadn't even thought of doing that.
I
That's
know, me either. It just kind of opens up a whole new world to explore.
it does. It is.
Yes.
It's so cool. Well, and we thank you all if you made it this far. We're so
And,
glad.
talk to your
you did.
animals, just take whatever they have to say and talk to them back.
Right. That's right. So,
My,
yeah.
my computer thinks I'm playing music, but I'm really just playing my dog.
Oh, okay.
All righty.
All right. Well, thanks,
Well,
Vicki,
thank
for
you.
doing this again.
Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching.
Yes.
Thank
Yes,
you
thank
for,
everyone.
subscribing and liking and sharing and all that other podcasty stuff.
Yes, yes, please. If you like us, share. That would be good.
Mhm.
And definitely subscribe. And the more subscribers, we may eventually be able to give stuff away. I don't know. We'll see.
Well, that came to me yesterday. It's like, maybe if they leave a comment and maybe someday, we'll have a
We'll have-
giveaway, like a tarot
Yeah.
reading or,
Or something, yeah.
something. And,
Something.
a little intuitive reading, stuff like that.
Yeah, but that's a good idea. You're so smart. All
I have
right.
ideas, whether they ever get done or not, that's
We'll get to them all. Don't worry, we will. All right.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.